Hi friends, thank you for joining me. Well, from about 8 o'clock this morning until now, YBO has upgraded Kilauea's eruption level from orange to red. I was looking for information late last night, Central Daylight Time, and it was still orange. No reports at that time of an eruption, but it has erupted. 156 earthquakes within the last week, they are saying. Here's a current image from USGS of Halema'uma'u and the lava lake there. And another image, you can see the hot lava here. Yeah, glowing. And then we got an image, this is a thermal image of the crater. And another image looking down into the crater. And another one. They're evidently worried that it might move down into the East Rift Zone again. Here we have another image. Now this was taken yesterday. I'll bring it down a little bit so you can see the time. And the Hawaii Volcano National Park staff said that they are expecting thousands of visitors after it erupted there on Wednesday afternoon. They are saying that they expect to have crowded overlooks, crowded parking lots, and that it's very critical that people maintain their social distancing and that they wear their masks. Yeah, don't talk about the hazardous gases that are being emitted, the glass going into their lungs. They worry more about COVID than people having lung damage from breathing this stuff in. The scientists have warned that the wind can push the plume and ash into different directions, carrying with it hazardous gases such as sulfur dioxide. People that live on the island, they are very familiar with the dangers of the ash and the glass. They know that it does cause long-term lung damage. What can I say? Anything for a buck, right? You know, to bring in the tourists. It's a beautiful island. You have to admit, it's beautiful. But they are warning that people who have breathing issues, heart problems, pregnant women, young children, think about the children, and infants really should avoid some of the areas that are close to the eruption site. HVO does have a webpage about the VOG and what areas they consider acceptable. Palahala, unhealthy. Yeah, I pity those people that live there. And moderate for Palahala. So they have a gift program showing the parts per billion of the current conditions of the VOG as it's pushed around by the winds. On nullschool.net, here we have SO2. And this is the islands. This is the big island of Hawaii. And let's go to CO2. Yep. It looks like it's being blown all the way to Hilo. If I can get it in closer. Now that's SO2 and CO2. The eruption evidently started at 3:42 p.m. local time there. The most recent earthquake that USGS is reporting is a 2.4. Now you notice it's got minus 0.1 kilometers in depth. Now all earthquakes are measured from sea level. So when it has a minus sign there, that means it is above sea level. It is up within the crust of the earth, within the caldera there. So using Google Earth, here's the location of that recent earthquake. There's no homes within this area. We do have restaurants and tourist buildings in this area. Let me pull this out for you. And generally in the past, the lava would flow going southwest if it overflowed from this crater. There is the worry about the East Rift Zone possibly erupting again. There was a lot of earthquakes, and I was tracking that when I did my report, probably a month ago. Now it looks like the largest earthquake was yesterday, a magnitude 2.9. Here's the location of that earthquake. Let me bring this out. That was 1.7 kilometers in depth. That would be below sea level. And then here on USGS webpage, you can see the light blue, that location. And since the eruption from yesterday, you can see here how the depth has greatly risen, gone closer to the lava lake there. See that? 0.6, 0.2. Been a lot of earthquakes. And when I did my report back in August, I talked about how shallow the earthquakes were getting, and it was gearing up for another eruption. So here we have the tilt for Kilauea summit for the past 2 days. You can see here how it took a jump, and now it's going back down. Let me pull this over a little bit. And this is for the East Rift Zone and Kilauea summit. And yeah, see how it took a sudden pop right there. Now they are also saying that all signs at this point in time shows that the lava will stay within the crater. They are not seeing any indications of the lava is moving into the lower part of the East Rift Zone where people live. So currently all the activity is within the park. And many of you may remember back in 2018 when they had the eruption that went along to the East Rift Zone. Over 700 homes had been destroyed and thousands of people were displaced. Now they're saying that the 2018 eruption, that spilled out enough lava to fill 320,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So here we have the monitor for Halema'uma'u Trail. We got a recent earthquake right there. And there's another one there. Just before 1325 Universal Time. Okay, 1203. That's the earthquake signature there. And then the one at 1230. That's it right there. These two smaller ones have not been reported as of yet. Got another one at almost 1045. A series of earthquakes right here at between 1125 and 1135. And here we have 525. Maybe 533. 439 maybe. Yeah, those are all probably magnitude 2s. There was a whole series here. Now the monitor that I'm using right now is that one right there. And here we got Halema'uma'u crater. So that's the monitor that I am showing you. And we'll go back another 4 hours and see what we got. Holy cow, yeah. Look at that. Yep. Multiple earthquakes. And then just after 1 o'clock Universal Time, maybe about 9 of them listed through there. Yeah, let's go back another 4 hours. Yeah, see, that's when all that activity started. Let me go forward. Yeah, all the activity started just after midnight Universal Time. Anyways, that's all I have for you right now. Yeah, right there. Let me pull this down. 25 minutes after midnight, that's when all the activity started up. The magma started getting thicker, flowing in, and we got our eruption. How exciting. But very dangerous. I want to bring up a fact that the N95 masks are the best for the ash. They do not work for gas. Toxic gases. They will not stop the toxic gases. And I didn't make that clear enough when I did my report on La Palma. The N95 masks are really the best masks, the only ones you should be using for the ash. But it does not, I want to make it clear, it does not work for ash. You actually need to use a gas mask, preferably a military style gas mask. And these gases are deadly. So for this whole area, in the last week, they've had 344 earthquakes. But just there at the summit for Halema'uma'u, there's been 156. We'll go down here to Pahala, and that area has had 175 earthquakes in the last week. And again, 177. This is also an area where the gas is really bad for people. I showed you that. So, what are your thoughts? Put those comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Always be prepared for a disaster. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you.